Oh.
Connor, do you accept God as your creator?
No, I do not. And I wanted to address some of the claims that you were making on the live.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So you stated that in order for the world to actualize itself, you need to talk about it in an intelligent way, right?
That's
You
not
have
what I
to
said.
have intelligibility for the actualization.
That
correct?
is not what I said.
Okay, what did you say? In regards
I said
to
the world is
actualize itself.
I said the world is emblematic and entails that which actualizes it.
Okay. In Layton's terms, what do you mean by that?
Actualization is something that makes a state of affairs real.
Okay, so basically making itself real.
Yeah. The world entails that which actualizes it.
It entails which that of actualizes it. And you're saying that's because of God, correct?
Yeah, and that which actualizes it could only have the world be emblematic or entail of that which actualizes it if that which actualizes it has the property and attribute set of God.
Okay, so deriving from that logic, which most Christians, and I believe yourself, get from the Bible, without pointing to God in the Bible, how can you justify that you can use the same logic for the Bible itself? Because if the Bible never existed, how would you know God? Like, you get what I'm saying here?
Well, I guess you haven't read the Bible.
Itself has to actualize itself using the logic.
I guess you haven't read the Bible. The Bible makes it very clear that all men know that God exists by the light of creation, that the creation itself entails and reveals God's eternal power and divine nature.
Okay, well, let me throw out a situation here. What about, let's say, you have somebody who's in an uncontacted tribe in the middle of the Amazon, because they do exist. You're telling me that they have the knowledge of the Christian God Yahweh.
They know that the true God exists. They may not know certain progressive revelation that God has given to us that's codified in the Bible, but they know that one true God exists and that he's perfect.
Okay,
and they have a consciousness that they're creaturely, and they also have a consciousness that they're guilty sinners before God.
Okay, where's your proof that they have a consciousness of them being a guilty sinner?
The revelation,
although they worship other gods,
the revelation,
or if any God at all.
Do you want an answer to the question?
Go for it.
The justification for my diagnosis is from the authoritative mind of God and how he reveals it in the Christian scriptures.
Okay.
If you reject the authority of God through the scriptures, then implicitly you will be staking out the authority of the mind of man as the determiner of all that is and cannot be.
Okay.
And I will ask the same question of you. How is that verified?
How is what verified? That they don't know?
The authority of man to make a determination about what is and cannot be.
Experience. I mean, you being able to be self-aware, but then
how old
if
are
you're
you?
going to counteract the argument, we're going to go down the rabbit hole of
How old are you?
Does the apple exist on the table or not argument.
Okay, Connor, how old are you?
Why does that matter?
Because I'm asking you, it matters to me.
Why does it matter? I could say I'm 30. I can say I'm 15.
Connor, I won't ask again. If you choose not to answer, I'll move on to somebody else.
I'm 26 years old. Does that make you happy?
No, it doesn't make me happy, but it gives me information about your life experiences. Okay, because that way I know you're not a 16 or a 17-year-old. Okay.
Okay, now, but I've also met other young men who do have valid experience who are very mature for their age. So what does that validate your stance?
Are you okay? I don't think you really understand metaphysics to the extent that you think you do. Are your experiences what ultimately dictates any state of affairs as to what is or cannot be that also include your experiences?
Really, just my own. Okay, so you're going with that stance of
look. You're not
everything
giving me.
cannot
You're not
exist.
giving me a mature young man's answer. You're giving me a teenage answer. This is why I asked you how old
Okay,
you
but
are.
you're
I'm
running
asking
down a
you.
rabbit
You
hole,
listen
though.
to me. I'm about to kick you out of the room because
Of
what you're
course you
doing
are.
is you're being uncooperative. I don't mind somebody disagreeing, but you're using the age-old tactic of being uncooperative. Now, I want you to tell me that what is it that is concrete, not a statement of abstraction, that imposes what is and cannot be for everything.
Shared experiences.
Okay, you have no idea what you're talking about. You are totally clueless. Listen to me carefully. I'm asking you on a grand scale, what ultimately dictates the strong and the weak nuclear force?
Strong and weak nuclear force.
Yeah, what dictates the spin of electrons?
Gravity. Because they do technically have their own gravitational pull
Okay,
within them.
you don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking
I
about
do know what I'm talking
ultimately. I'm saying ultimately. Do you know what ultimately and foundationally dictates all that is?
All that is. I can't give you the answer for that because even in the scientific community, they don't know that. But then again, you can't turn
Well,
around and
you just
justify it
contradicted
from the
yourself.
Bible.
You just contradicted yourself because a few minutes ago you said it was experiences that dictates what is. Right now, you're telling me you don't know.
So okay. What I meant by that was, how can you dictate something is an actualization?
Okay, I'm
You can
about
share
to
that
remove.
opinion with
Look,
somebody
dude,
else.
how stupid do you think I am?
I'm not saying that you're stupid. I don't think you're stupid.
I'm not your average person that you can bamboozle me with your verbosity. The bottom line here is this: you don't know what dictates what's possible and impossible at an ultimate level, do you?
No one does. And then, but what you're going to do here,
And do you
can I finish?
okay,
Can I
hold on a
finish?
second. Do you know that nobody knows that?
I'm not for sure. I'm not everybody.
No. If you're no, I'm not asking about your certitude. Do you know that nobody knows what ultimately dictates what's possible and impossible?
No, I did not know that.
Okay, so again, you're making an arbitrary declaration.
Okay, so let me turn around and ask you a question.
So when you tell me, so when
once.
you open up your mouth and you assert what is and cannot be, it ultimately is baseless, isn't it?
Okay, so what you're saying is I can't even
If
make
you
an arbitrary
dodge my
claim.
question one more time, I'm going to
I'm
remove you.
answering your
You are
question. That's it.
cheating in the
I'm answering your
conversation. I
question.
won't tell you again.
I'm answering your question.
No, you're not. You're dodging. Now,
Okay. So you asked me.
when you assert what is and cannot be about anything, it is ultimately arbitrary, correct?
No, I'll have to disagree with you on that.
Good. Then what ultimately dictates what is and cannot be?
Okay. Can I answer that in a situational experience?
Young man, I have sneakers older than you. You have a gift of the gab, and you're being very deceptive and evasive. You're
I'm not
not
trying to be
fooling.
deceptive.
Okay, have a nice day. You're done.
Okay, you just can't handle an intelligent argument.
Bye. Okay, so here we have a 27-year-old going on 17, thinking that he can bamboozle me with his deceptive and evasive responses. Okay? Pretending to know what he's talking about, and he flips and flops. 1 minute he says, nobody knows what's ultimate. And I said, do you know that? And he goes, oh, no. Where do they grow these people? I love it. I ask him, what ultimately dictates all that is and cannot be? And he goes, my experience. I mean, that's colossally stupid.